Hello, and thank you for joining us today, and welcome to the presentation of Identity Theft and Scams and What You Need to Know. Just want to make sure everyone can hear me today. First off, so I'm going to ask you to find your chat box and kind of just type in if you can hear me. My name is Romel George, and I will be your presenter today. You are currently muted. If you have questions, we will be using the chat box feature to ask and answer all questions. So I will be answering the questions that come into the chat box at the end of the presentation. The presentation will be about 30 to 40 minutes today. Following the presentation, we'll have a question and answer session, and I'll answer all the questions in the chat box once again. I'm also uploading some handouts onto the chat box. They will be done in about 10 minutes or so once everyone gets in. If you are unable to see them or download them, please email us and we'll be happy to send them to you. On the last slide, you'll be able to see the contact information to get the email addresses if you need them. We are recording this webinar and we'll have it up on our website in the next couple of weeks. In case you'd like to listen to it again, please feel free to do so. We do upload recorded sessions of all of our webinars on our website, so please check our website for topics we presented that you might have missed. Please also share this information with anyone you think might benefit from the information. And before we get started, I just want to take a little poll, see where everyone's calling from. If you could just tap into the chat box where you're calling from today, that would be absolutely wonderful. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and go ahead and get started here. Habitat for Humanity East Bay Silicon Valley serves people in Alameda, Contra Costa, and Santa Clara counties through 3 programs. The first of our programs is our Affordable Homeownership Program. We build new homes and renovate existing homes and then sell them at affordable mortgages to qualified families with limited incomes. Our second program is our Housing Counseling Services. Our Housing Counseling Program is certified by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Through one-on-one counseling, we provide help to people who want to learn strategies for budgeting income and expenses, saving, managing debt, credit repair, credit building, or improving the credit score. For people who have a goal of home ownership, we can prepare them to reach that goal as well. And then we do also offer the financial education workshop and the HUD certified 8-hour first-time homebuyer class. Now, our last program is our preservation or home repair program. Through our home preservation program, we provide grants and low interest rate loans for low income home buyers in our service area to repair their existing homes. If you know someone who currently has a home in Alameda, Contra Costa, or Santa Clara counties that is low income and may need some repairs done to the home, you should refer them to Habitat. We could possibly help them with either a grant or a low interest rate loan to repair their home. Great. What we're going to cover today, we're going to talk about how does identity theft happen, what to do if your personal information is lost or stolen, how to report identity theft, how to spot frauds and scams, and how to protect yourself. I want you to ask yourself, how many online accounts do you currently have right now? Consider not just your email, social media, bank accounts, credit cards, and insurance, but your streaming services, the utility companies, retail store loyalty cards, online shopping sites, and that old blog that you could have possibly forgotten about. Even if you've been diligent about closing accounts and deleting historical data, there is no guarantee that the company or organization itself doesn't still have your personal information stored in their archives. Most people also use the same passwords on multiple sites. This means that if one of your accounts is hacked or there's a data breach, thieves could access all your financial and personal information. This can have long-term effects. The good news is you are your own best protection. There are things that you can do to prevent identity theft from happening and to minimize the damage if it does happen. Today, we will cover all of those things. How is identity theft stolen? How is your identity stolen? Thieves have become quite aggressive and creative in finding ways to gain access to your personal information like account numbers, social security numbers, your login IDs, and passwords. The first step in protecting yourself is to know how your personal information can be stolen so that you can take proper precautions. Thieves will go through your mailbox and trash to look for documents that have been that have your personal information like bank and credit card statements, tax information, pre-approved credit card offers, and receipts. They will submit address changes to divert your mail without your knowledge so that they can get your personal information sent directly to them. They use skimming, which means they attach electronic device to an ATM or a card reader to steal information stored on a credit or debit card on the magnetic strip there. Data breaches expose people's personal information. Any institution that collects personal information is at a risk of data breach. One recent example of this is the Equifax data breach, but department stores and banks also have been targeted and are vulnerable as well. Phishing is when scammers try to get you to give them your personal information by tricking you into answering or responding to their phone call, email, text message, or social media post. They spoof phone numbers and send emails that appear to be from a legitimate source, like a financial institution or government agency, and they use social media posts to advertise fake products. They also use trusted names or pretend to be someone you know or do business with to get you to share either via email, text, valuable personal information, or to gain access to your computer or your network. For example, they will pose as a landlord, employer, or business representative, someone who would have the right to take a look at your credit report legally, or that you trust to give that personal information. Now, here are some fraud, scams, and red flags. Scammers follow the headlines and find new ways to steal your money and get your information. As the headline change, so does the scams. Savvy people fall for scams all the time. If the thief can find a way to get you to a place where you stop thinking, become non-emotional, then they can get you to let down your guard and you are more likely to fall for their pitch. There are some common red flags that indicate you are most likely dealing with a scam. Watch out for promises of money or a guaranteed return with no risk, claims that you can make lots of money and make it fast, maybe tell you that you won money but you have to pay them before you can collect it, or you're invited to a free lunch seminar that is marketed as educational when in fact it is actually a staged sales event. Scammers also use pressure tactics. They'll say that you must act now before the opportunity disappears, or scare you into acting immediately, maybe by intimidation or using some threatening language. The message may say something bad will happen to you if you do not do what they say, like your bank account will be frozen or your social security payments suspended unless you update your personal information, or you owe the IRS and an arrest warrant has been issued in your name. They want you to act quickly before you have a chance to do any research and find out that they are actually a scam. Anyone who asks you to send cash, pay with a gift card, wire money, or pay with cryptocurrency is a scammer. We will go over some examples in a little bit, but don't ever give your personal information unless you totally understand all of the details. Consequences of identity theft. Once your personal information is stolen, thieves can use it to open credit card and take out loans, open accounts like checking or savings accounts, apply for rent or services like utilities or cell phones, give information during arrests, apply for public benefits, get Medicare, or I should say medical care, or file taxes in your name. ID theft can have financial and legal impacts. If, if they borrow money, open a bank account, buy products under your name, and you are unaware of this activity and the debts go unpaid, they will go into collection. You will be responsible for the owed balance, and you might even get sued. If they file a tax return in your name, they can get your tax refund. If they use your medical information to get insurance benefits for prescription drugs, you will be responsible for the medical service that you did not receive. This could also affect your ability to get medical care and insurance benefits down the road. If you apply for benefits in your name, when you apply, your claim could be denied. Identity theft can also have a negative impact on your credit score and credit history, as well as criminal consequences. If the thief gives your name, social security number, or a driver's license number to a police during an arrest, and then doesn't show up for a court date, an arrest warrant will be issued in your name. You can, of course, fight all of this, but it is difficult and it can take years and be very expensive. Warning signs of ID theft. Being alert to warning signs of ID theft is your best first line of defense. Here are some common warning signs. Unexplained charges or withdrawals show up on your credit card or bank statements, or you receive medical bills for services that you did not use. You notice that you are not receiving your bank or credit card statements per schedules. You should get them every month and you have not been getting them. That is a definite red flag. You apply for a loan, a credit card, or rent, and you are denied because of poor credit history or debts you owe that you are unaware of. You file a medical claim and your health plan rejects it because the records show you've reached your medical benefits limit, but you know that you have not. You check your credit report and you see accounts that you've never opened, or names listed used to apply for credit on loans that you've never used. Collections listed for debts that you do not recognize. You receive a move validation letter from the post office, but you did not file the change. All of those are signs of identity theft. Now, when we talk about credit freeze and fraud alert, placing a fraud alert or credit freeze is one of the critical steps to take if your personal information is compromised. Depending on the severity of your situation, you can decide which one you'd rather do. A credit freeze freezes your credit report to anyone wanting to access it until you unfreeze it, and that includes you. That means if you want to apply for a credit card or a loan, the creditor or lender won't be able to pull your credit report, and this may affect your ability to be approved. If you need to, you can temporarily lift it or unfreeze it permanently for free. Parents and legal guardians can also request a credit freeze for children under 16 to help protect them from identity theft and fraud. To do a credit freeze, you must do it with each credit reporting agency separately, and there are three main ones, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Credit reporting agencies or credit bureaus gather all of your credit information so potential lenders and creditors can review your credit history before deciding whether to approve you for a new credit card or a new card or loan. A fraud alert has or lasts for 1 year. When someone applies for credit or the loan, the creditor or the lender must contact you by telephone at a number that you specify to make sure that you are the person trying to open the account. We place a fraud alert with one of the credit bureaus and they are required to contact the other two. You can request an extended fraud alert if you are a victim of identity theft. This alert will last for 7 years, but you must provide proof that you filed an identity theft report with the FTC or Federal Trade Commission. Lost or stolen personal information. If your wallet or purse is lost or stolen, or if you believe your personal or financial information was exposed, like your social security number, debit or credit card number, act quickly to protect yourself from potential ID theft. Depending on your situation, you may need to take all or some of these steps. Make sure to document your actions and start a paper trail immediately. If your debit card was stolen, report the loss to your bank and request a new ATM card with a new number and a new PIN. Act quickly. If you report the ATM or debit card missing before someone uses it, you are not responsible for any unauthorized transactions. If someone uses your card before you report it, your liability will depend on how quickly you reported it. If you wait too long, you can lose all the money in your account. Depending on your situation, you may want to open a new checking and savings account as well. And then if your credit card was lost or stolen, contact the fraud department at the bank or credit card company. Act fast to limit your liability for charges you didn't authorize. Cancel cards and get new ones with the new number. And then review your transaction with the credit card issuer so you can ask them to remove any fraudulent transactions. If needed, change passwords and logins. If you have had auto pay on the accounts, remember to change your information and add the new card number. And if you use that password for any other account, change that password as well. Then continue monitoring your accounts for unexplained charges. Place a fraud alert on your credit card with credit bureaus. If your driver's license was lost or stolen, report that loss to the DMV or the Department of Motor Vehicles. And then monitor your credit and report to check for any unexplained activity. Continue doing this regularly because thieves can use that information in the future. And then we will review how you can check your credit report for free a little later in this presentation. Now, reporting identity theft. If someone is actively using your personal information to open new accounts, make purchases, or get a tax refund, report it. Act quickly and document your actions. Contact the fraud department at your bank and credit card companies, and close accounts or freeze them to prevent anyone other than yourself from adding new charges. Change your passwords, logins, and PIN numbers. Place a fraud alert or credit freeze with credit bureaus. File an identity theft report with the FTC or Federal Trade Commission. This will document that you are a victim of identity theft and make it easier to fix problems the identity theft may cause in the future. In many cases, you'll be able to use an identity theft report to clear up credit issues to the related identity theft. You can also use this report to stop fraudulent information that results from identity theft from appearing on your credit report. Ensure that these debts do not reappear on your report. Prevent a company from continuing to collect debts that result in identity theft, and then place the extended fraud alert on your credit report. The identity theft report provides you with a personal recovery plan, pre-filled letters to send to merchants, banks, and others affected by the identity theft, and an identity theft report, which is your official statement about the crime. You can also use your identity theft report to file a police report. Some companies require this as part of their dispute process. It can also help someone if someone uses your name in a traffic stop or any encounter with the police. Monitor your credit report, check it regularly, and make sure nothing shows up to be tied to identity theft. Now, there are some money scams out there as well. Right? If someone you don't know sends you a check and asks for money back, or asks you to pay up front or wire money, or tells you to put money on a gift card, it's a sure sign of a scam. Wire transfers are untraceable. They get your money, they disappear, and you have no recourse to get your money back. Here are some common fake check and money wiring scams and how they work. The economic impact payment, or more commonly known as the stimulus check scam. You get a message that looks like it's from the IRS asking you to deposit your stimulus check, then send them money back because they paid you more than they owed you. The IRS won't contact you by phone, email, text, or social media, or ask you for your social security number, bank account, or any government benefit debit card number. And they certainly will not tell you to deposit your stimulus check and then send them the money back because they paid you more than they owed you. There are several mystery shopper scams out there as well. One example is when the scammers pretend to hire shoppers to evaluate the customer service of a money wire transfer company. The scammer then sends a check to the shopper to deposit in a personal bank account. The shopper has to withdraw the cash and then wire the money through a money transfer service like Western Union. But the check is fake. When the bank discovers this, the shopper is responsible for paying back the bank. There's a lottery scam out there. This is a scam when the scammer calls and says that you've won the lottery, but to claim the prize, you have to wire money to pay for the taxes. Definitely a scam. Chain letter scams are particularly active during periods when people are tight on money, including this period when people have been sheltering in place and spending more time on a computer. People who fall for them end up losing their money, and it works like this. You get a message from a friend or someone you know, or a friend of a friend, about a game where you can win money. But to get into the game, you have to pay to get other people to sign up and pay as well. The more people you get to join and pay, the closer you get to winning the reward money. Of course, you never get there and you are out of money you paid up front. You are paying to recruit people. This is a definition of a pyramid scheme. Now, I have some COVID-19 scams here. Scammers are taking advantage of fears tied to the pandemic, and they use fake emails, texts, and social media posts to take your money and get your personal information. They're setting up websites to sell bogus products, send texts and emails with links to websites that look like they're from the government. Always visit government websites directly for trustworthy information regarding COVID-19 related assistance and programs. The FTC reports many robocalls, texts, and emails from people pretending to be from agencies like the IRS, Social Security Administration, Center for Disease Control, World Health Organization, and Public Health Department. Here are some common COVID-19 related scams. Just 1 second. They, they may tell you that you are approved for money or that you can get cash grants due to coronavirus. They might try to get you to pay a fee to get your stimulus payment or ask you to confirm information for your stimulus payment through a link or claim that they can help you get your stimulus payment faster. They might promise small business loans or send an alert that a check is ready to be picked up. You might receive a text claiming to be from the Federal Communications Commission or FCC offering money for financial relief. This is a scam. There is no such program. Some scammers contact you by phone, email, or text pretending to be from the Social Security Administration and tell you that there's an order to suspend your benefit payments. The message urges you to call back a number. SSA will never call to threaten your benefits or tell you to wire, send, or put money on gift cards. Scammers are also calling offering things like a COVID-19 kit, coronavirus package, or medical benefits related to the virus. But to access these benefits, you must verify your personal information like your bank account, Social Security, or Medicare numbers. If you get a call from someone who says they're a Medicare representative and they ask for this information, hang up. It is definitely a scam. People who come into contact with someone infected with COVID-19 may get a text message by the health department to alert them that they have been exposed to the virus. The message tells them they'll get a call from a specific number. Scammers are taking advantage of this contact tracing system and sending spam texts that ask you to click on a link. The example on this slide shows you the message, what it can look like, and the legitimate contact tracing messages do not include links for you to follow. And when you get a call, they do not ask for money or personal information. These are all phishing attempts trying to gain access to your personal information like bank account, Social Security, or Medicare numbers. There are also scams on social media trying to get your money by advertising vaccines, test kits, cures, treatments, and air filter systems designed to remove COVID-19 from the air in your home. There are no such products proven to treat COVID-19 at this time, and most test kits being advertised have not been approved by the FDA. If you receive a phone call, email, text message, or letter with claims to sell any of these items, it is a scam. Debt relief scams focus on mortgage and student loans. They'll promise things like they can make your debt go away, or they'll advertise bailout programs. One scam targets college students. The scammer calls, prompting the student to call a number to get more information on how COVID-19 financial relief measures will impact their future student loan payment obligations. Of course, the student calls, the scammer will ask them to provide personal information that they can steal. In another scam, the student receives a message by someone claiming to be from the university's financial department. The message prompts the student to open a message that contains information about their COVID-19 economic stimulus package or check. They can only open it through a portal link that requires a student access through their university login. If the student enters their username, password, or other personal information, the information goes to the scammers. Email phishing scam. A phishing email is meant to get you to click on links or download attachments. If you do, you get rerouted to a fake website that appears legitimate and that the attacker now has access to your personal information. They can install programs that lock you out of your data and allows them to steal your personal information. This is an example of a phishing scam that is going around during the COVID-19 pandemic, if you look at the screen there. Scammers are sending a fake email that looks like this from the World Health Organization. As you can see, the message preys on the fears of the virus. Phishers use various tactics to get you to follow links or download attachments, like saying they notice suspicious activity or login attempts, claiming there is a problem with your account or your payment information, include a fake invoice, ask you to click on a link to make payment or update your account information, say you are eligible to register for a government refund, and offering a coupon for free stuff. If you get email or a text message that asks you to click on a link or open an attachment, answer this question. Do I have an account with this company? Do I know this person that contacted me? The answer is no. This is likely a phishing scam. Do you recognize any of the signs? If yes, report the message to the FTC and then delete it. If the answer is yes, are you worried that this could be a legitimate contact company using a phone number provided or a website number you know is real? Do you use contact information provided in the email or the text? And do not click on the link. So you call them directly from a number that you have if you know them. Charity scam. Scammers are also trying to trick you into giving them money by using names similar to those of well-known organizations. Before you give, ask questions. What is the charity's website, address, phone number? What is their mission? How much of the donation will go to the program you want to help? Who and how will the charity help? If you get vague answers, be very suspicious. Research the charity's name and include the word scam or fraud. Do that research. You can use the Better Business Bureau Wise Giving Alliance, Charity Navigator, Charity Watch, and GuideStar to help you research these charities. Never donate by giving out gift card numbers or using a wire transfer. And don't assume donation request on social media is legitimate just because a friend liked it and shared it with you. Do your own research. Protect your personal information. Password protect your laptop, smartphones, or tablet. They contain a lot of personal data. If you don't, you'll lose it, and if it gets stolen, the thief can easily access all of your information. Do not use the same password for all of your accounts. If they hack one account, they can hack all of them. Have a system that you can remember, but have different passwords. Use strong passwords and keep them private, number one. Don't select remember passwords and logins, number two. And number three, always use the two-factor authentication process. After you input your login information and password, you'll get a text message with one-time code that you can use to access your account. This helps you in two ways. If someone steals your password, they cannot get in because they don't have the one-time access code. You get a text message with the code and you are not trying to log into your account, you know someone else is trying to access your account. This helps you to guard your personal information and watch out for shoulder surfing, especially when you're entering debit card numbers, PIN numbers, passwords, or while using ATMs or self-checkout. Look for anything out of the ordinary on ATM or gas station card readers like tape, glue marks, machine scratches, or if the card reader looks different than the other card readers at a nearby station, don't use that one. If the ATM looks loose or bulkier than the other ones, don't use that one. If you are unsure, go to the cashier or use a different ATM or gas pump. Typically, the gas pumps further away from the cashier are the ones that are tampered with because it is easier for the thief to go unnoticed. Only carry cards you need, so if your wallet is stolen, you minimize the damage. Memorize your social security number and leave your social security card at home. Don't use public Wi-Fi when using apps or go on sites that require personal or financial information. There may be a person across the room or in a car across the street working on their laptop or smartphone, except they are capturing what they need over public Wi-Fi airways to steal your identity. Use only secure websites. The website should be encrypted. This means that your data is translated into a secret code, and to be able to read it, you must have access to the secret code or password. Look for HTTPS at the start of the web address. The S means that the site is secure. Also look for the lock icon and make sure that the HTTPS is on every page you visit, not just the opening page when you sign in. If you see warning signs like info not secure or not secure or dangerous, do not share any personal information. Invest in a low-cost shredder. Shred documents with personal identifying information, including pre-approved credit card offers. Don't just rip them up and throw them in the trash. People are actually digging in the trash and going to get those things, whether they've been ripped up or not. They take the time to put them back together. Sign up for transaction alerts with your bank or credit card company. This is a free service from the financial institution. And then you will receive an alert when there's a specific activity on your account. If you made the transaction, you can ignore the notification, but if you didn't make the transaction, you can contact your financial institution immediately to alert them to freeze or close your account before more fraud is committed. Protect yourself against ID theft. You are entitled by law to pull a free credit report from each of the credit reporting agencies, which are Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, once per year. However, now, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, for 1 year, you can get a free copy every week from each of the credit bureaus. Take advantage of this. Check your credit report and look for any signs of identity theft. Accounts that are not yours, credit inquiries for credit or loans that you did not initiate, names that were used to apply for credit that you do not recognize. You want to look for all those things on that report. You can get free copies of your report from the website www.annualcreditreport.com. Don't share personal and financial Don't share personal or financial information with anyone who calls, texts, emails, or shows up in person. Don't answer to texts or calls from unknown numbers, and don't trust caller IDs that look like they're from a legitimate institution like the IRS or the Social Security Administration. Scammers can spoof those numbers. Remember that government agencies and legitimate institutions will never ask you to give them any personal information over the phone, via email, or via text. Say no to anyone who asks you for cash, gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. And then don't click down or download attachments, even if the email looks legitimate. And sign up for free scam alerts from the FTC or Federal Trade Commission. They send regular emails about scams that you should be aware of and tips about keeping your information safe. We are at the end of the presentation. We will now take some time for a Q&A, for a question and answer. If you cannot stay, thank you so much for attending today's webinar. We will be offering more webinars on other topics, so please check our website for upcoming dates. If you joined us a little later and cannot see the handouts that were uploaded in the chat box, or you see them but are unable to download them, this is our contact information and on the screen now. Please reach out and we will be happy to email them to you. If you would like to meet with a HUD certified housing counselor, you can find a list on the HUD website. Habitat for Humanity East Bay Silicon Valley is a HUD-approved housing counseling agency, and you can contact us directly if you would like to meet with us. And both myself as well as Alessandra, I am Ramel George, who works on the Oakland office, and Alessandra works at the Milpitas office. We are both certified HUD counselors. Unfortunately, at this time, we are only offering phone appointments, but when we are able to offer in-person appointments, we will schedule them at our offices. So please connect with the counselor that is closer to you.